Hi everyone, welcome to devlog number 2. This week I tweaked the UI a bit, added a day-night cycle mechanic, worked on the camera behavior, and set up a database for the in-game content. Let's get into it. Please watch devlog number 0 and 1 if you haven't already done so. Let's go through the idea I have for executing a heist. It's going to be a puzzle, where you have to use your crew and gear in order to solve it. The higher the level of the heist, the more complicated the puzzle will be, and the more specialized crew and gear you will need. Take this puzzle for instance. Here the columns will need to add up to 3 and 5, and the rows will need to add up to 5 and 3. Also, there is a requirement to add a driver in one of the cells. If a driver is used, it will double the level. If not, it will count as 0 towards the sum. Now if you solve the puzzle perfectly, you will receive the entire score of the heist. If not, you will only get part of it, and in worst case, you get caught. Not sure this will be the only puzzle, but this is what I had in mind right now. To implement and validate this will be the main focus of next week. I keep calling this out, but the look of the UI isn't final. I really want to make sure the gameplay works before putting too much effort into the design. So I don't work on ideas that I end up scrapping. As soon as I feel confident in the gameplay, I will take time to define the look and feel for the game for real. Anyway, I still want the game to look sort of presentable though, while working on it. So I added a nicer font and finally figured out why my 9-patch rect controls were acting up. I made a separate video on that, in case you're interested. Here's the day-night cycle mechanic I added to the game. One of the aspects of this is that the crew you gather will cost an upkeep each day. Another mechanic I've considered is that some heists might be suitable to do on a particular time of day, or that transportation will cost less at night, for instance. Haven't really gotten into the details of this yet, but now it's available. Speaking of cost per day, I visualized this in the HUD and also added an animated effect when your cache gets updated. The default camera behavior is to follow the player around. You can also move it freely by clicking and dragging, allowing it to do a reconnaissance of your surroundings. Clicking on the player HUD will center the camera on the player again, while clicking on the heist will center the camera on the targeted city. I did also add a limit to the camera and extended the water to the very edge of the viewport. Finally, when you decide where to travel next, the camera will center on the town the transportation goes to when hovering on it, making it easier to decide if it goes in the right direction. To easily add content to the game, I've set up a Google Sheet, which I can generate a JSON from that can be read and parsed by the game. To this sheet I can add things like heists, crew, gears and more, which will make it a lot quicker to add content in the future. Along with this, I've added the concept of locations that will contain a certain type of crew or gear. This means that only some cities might have a location that may contain the specific crew you need. That is it for this week. Please subscribe so you don't miss out on next week's episode. However, I want to end this episode with a weekly movie recommendation. As maybe was apparent by last week's devlog, I love movies and tend to watch a couple each week. So I thought I would include this passion into these devlogs as well. Death Trap from '82 with Michael Caine and Christopher Reeve, which felt really off in the beginning but offered enough twists and turns that kept me interested throughout. So check it out if you get the chance. See you next week.